remember this, that we all have what we call a self-portrait. Now, self-portrait is simply a combination of your self-image, your self-ideal, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. And together, they all come together to form what we call your self-portrait. And your self-portrait is so important because you will always act like the person that you believe you are. Now, all of those items I mentioned together, when combined with your self-identity, form a cocktail of almost a written picture of what your future would be. Now, we all have our self-image. Some of us, we've inherited that from our parents. Some of us, we've created that for ourselves. And if there was one thing I was going to leave you with, I would simply say to you that it's important that you ensure that the portrait you have about yourself, your self-belief, your self-esteem, your self-ideal, your self-image, your self-identity, it's important that they are founded on the right philosophies and beliefs about who you really are, because you would never act beyond the person that you believe you are. If you've heard the famous short story about the scorpion and the frog, I believe that story gives a very clear blueprint of the power of self-identity. The account of the story, and let me share this with you very quickly. The account of the story says that one sunny day, a frog was on the bank of a river, trying to cross from one side of the river to the other side. And just as he was about to go across the river, that a scorpion came up to him and said, "Hello, Mr. Frog. I can see you're trying to get across to the other side of the river. Would you mind if I jumped on your back and you took me across with you and deposited me on the other side, and I'll go on my merry business?" The frog thinks about it and he says, I don't think so. The scorpion says, "Why not? Why would you not be helpful?" The scorpion looks at the frog looks back at the scorpion. The frog says, "Well, because you're a scorpion, and scorpions sting frogs." He says, "Surely I'm going to have you on my back, and as we travel down, halfway through the journey, you're going to sting me, and I'm going to die. And I have no intentions of dying on this beautiful sunny day." The scorpion thinks about this for a while and he smiles. And he says to the frog, "Well, you're not really thinking, Mr. Frog, with your froggy brain. But let me help you," he said. "If I was on your back and you were traveling across with me and I stung you, you would drown and so would I. But my intention is really to get to the other side. I have no intentions of dying. So I can promise you that I will not sting you." Now the frog thinks about this for a few minutes and says, well, maybe he does have a point. He agrees. Now as they travel across, surely as the frog feared, the scorpion stings him. And just as the frog is about to go down, he asked the scorpion a question. He said, "What have you done?" "I'm about to die." "Yes, but so are you. Why would you do this?" And hidden in the response of the scorpion is a great lesson of life. And I hope you remember this for a long time. The scorpion says, "I stung you because I am a scorpion." And that is what scorpions do. We sting frogs. And this is the point, that you would always act like the person that you believe you are. The portrait you have in your mind, in your heart, about who you are, that is who you would act like. If you want to change your life, you have to change the portrait you have about yourself. Start seeing yourself as more capable. Start seeing yourself the way that you truly are, which is someone with love within, someone with greatness inside, someone with a potential that is unlimited, someone who has more skills and abilities and talents that anyone can think of, someone that can make a difference. Get yourself a blank piece of canvas and paint yourself a portrait of who you should be, and then live into that portrait as though you were already real. To change your life, you have to change your self-portrait.